Super Troopers and Beer Fest, man. Those are two movies, dude. Like, I have specific memories.
Yes.
I probably shouldn't even share this. It's not too bad, but in college, a buddy and I, it was a Friday afternoon. He drove from his college to mine. I say, dude, we're getting some beer and we're going to watch Beer Fest.
Yes.
And that led to debauchery. I won't even go into any of that, but
no, we can go into it. I saw it in theaters, and me and my friends went across to a hotel that was across the street from the theater, and we got sloshed.
It made you want to drink. Like, it made you want to drink beer.
And
Even if you didn't like beer, it made you want to drink beer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then we went to the theater. We were hammered, and we were like, oh, man, we're going to be the only ones here that are hammered. And no, everybody was hammered at the movie. And it was just like, this is an experience. This is what you want, right? Whether it's around drinking or not, right? This is what you want everybody
Creating
in the
a
theater
culture.
to be feeling that in that moment, so that when they watch the movie, it's a thing together, right? That was exactly what we did. I'll admit, I did it more than once. I got hammered and went and saw that movie more than once.
I walked in my dorm room. My roommates chugging bottles of water. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm practicing. He'd be like, seeing how fast he could chug. He's like, I'm practicing for tonight. Like, we're gonna get some Das boots, and we still to this day say Prost or we say it Frost. We said it wrong.
Yeah.
Are you frosting beers? Like, yeah, I'm frosting a couple.
Yeah, you gotta turn the boot, man.
It's all from Beer Fest.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's so good.
And it led into like the tailgate the next day, doing beer bongs at the. I mean, dude, it was just pure. I think back to those days. I'm like, I am lucky to be here. Like,
We're not that drunk.
Yeah, right. We're not that drunk. So good.
And like
I'm
we just
watching that tonight. I got a voiceover session tomorrow, so I can't have too much tonight, but I'm watching it tonight.
I remember like we would just be downing beers and like yeah, Beer Fest, and like it was just him and I too. This was before anyone had gotten there that night.
Yeah.
It was like he arrived like he had like early Friday class, and he got to me by like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and we just started doing it, man.
It's so good. That's so good. Nowadays, I need 2 days of recovery time, but I would do it.
I'd be in the hospital instantly.
Maybe we should just have a special Sam Dever podcast when you get the monitor up. We'll just watch Beer Fest and we'll commentate the whole thing and we'll just see what happens.
So Super Troopers, Beer Fest, Wedding Crashers. Oh,
Old school.
Those are
Super Bad.
Super
Bad. So Super Bad and Wedding Crashers are 2 movies.
Yeah.
I can specifically remember crying in my stomach, hurting, laughing hard in the theater.
Oh yeah, The Hangover was one for me too.
Hangover.
That whole sequence of like just crazy good comedies, which are so sad now the way the movie industry is. You know, I mean, the pendulum swinging back to sort of, well, that was something I was hoping we'd talk about too. The pendulum swinging back to the independent side of things, right? It's starting to.
Yeah.
Like big companies, big studios are realizing they can't keep spending millions and millions of dollars on tentpole movies anymore. They have to diversify their portfolio. So, you know, a bunch of studios have announced, like smaller studios have announced their micro or medium budget branches again. Like Plan B just announced that they're going to be doing stuff. So it's just like that pendulum's starting to swing. So, and comedies suffered drastically. They used to make, you know, a whole bunch of comedies every year, and every now and, you know, and 1 would hit or 2 would hit or 3 would hit, whatever. But now it's like they make 6 comedies that go to movie theaters a year, which is nothing. There used to be like 60, you know, and now it's nothing.
And you know what? And I won't even go too far in either direction on this, but like, it's like people shouldn't be afraid to make certain things, but I think so many people are afraid I can't do this or say that, or else I'm going to get blackballed.
No, yeah, totally.
From here. But it's like, man, some of the best stuff ever is when people just let it fly.
Absolutely.
And I think there's a way to do it. I think, yeah, there's some things you shouldn't go there.
Yeah.
But there's some things it's like, I got to use Super Bad for an example. I don't even know if they could do this today or not, but man, the scene where I lost it, probably because I did this when I was a kid, is when he drew the dicks.
Oh.
And it goes through the musical montage
of all the pictures,
of all the different dicks and like the artistic dicks and like penises everywhere.
Super detailed ones. So good.
And to this day, man, the line at where Jules is like, he's like, you're drunk, Jules. She's like, no, I don't drink. He's like, no, you're drunk. He's like, I just wanted you to drink so you'd like me. And I just took myself back to that time. I'm like,
Yeah, right.
yeah, that's how I
Mhm.
used to think too.
It's good when you can do the comedy stuff, but also hit on those like those emotional beats that everybody suffers through, and
Teenagers
yeah,
and
totally.
early like
That sort of
20s
coming of age
kids, yeah.
stuff, and realizing
Yeah.
that's not the stuff that's important. And I love those movies. I wish there could be more of those movies today. It's just kids need, young adults need those things to sort of laugh and then maybe get those emotions out, or at least feel a little bit of that stuff. They don't feel any of that stuff. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe I'm just not. I know where they're watching stuff, these days. I just would be nice if that stuff existed for this generation too. Just having those transformative comedy movies that everybody goes to the theaters to see, and you just you talk about it until you're 40 in your mid 30s or whatever, right? And it's crazy.
Well, and you know what? Now that I'm thinking, and I could be wrong, but I bet if I had Seth Rogen here, if we were talking to them, I think they were just making stuff they wanted to make.
Yeah.
I don't think and of course, I'm sure they wanted to have careers and make money, but I think they honestly were making hilarious stuff that they thought was hilarious.
Absolutely.
Like Pineapple Express, like movies like they were just making.
And that goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of this too. It's
Yeah.
like you have to follow at the end of the day, whether the money comes or not. If you've chosen to follow yourself in terms of your passion and what you want to do, make the rest of it work. Choose what you want to do, and then whether it comes or not, at least you'll feel like you've gotten rich off of the art.